Hello there, I'm Maria CP Hunter, real estate broker and financial expert. And today we're going to talk about, well, 4 things that keep you from growing in your industry as a real estate agent. And what I see the most lacking in agents, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. The very first one is going to be, well, not responding to inquiries and communication, people texting, calling about properties or interested in purchasing, buying, whatever that may be. It comes through an inquiry. Most of the time it comes through a text or a call and not necessarily a face-to-face meeting or encounter. And so if you do not answer to those inquiries don't turn to clients. Now the second one is once they become um, clients, then you have to be promptly to answer all their questions and get back to them in a timely manner. And there, after that, it will be communicating with the other agent. You're going to be talking to the other agent quite a bit sometimes, going back and forth, coordinating. And anyone who's in the transaction, being the appraiser, the surveyors, the loan officers, the title company, whoever is involved. Now, the law requires you to get back to the client within a certain amount of time, but the law doesn't have to tell you how to run your business, because technically you should know this. This is the law of business. It shouldn't even have to be a law. It should be basic common sense, but it's not. People just, they don't have the sense of urgency, and then they wonder why they have no business. Okay, so that's number one. Number two will be education. People don't get enough education, or they only get a certain type of education, meaning that they only, okay, people who are self-learn it, which is good. People who go to courses, face to face, or obviously Zoom these days. But we tend, as human beings, trying to just go for the same kind of way of learning. And what I recommend is try to take diverse type of learning, meaning take courses online, in person if possible, in self-taught, and read all kinds of materials, everything that will affect the real estate industry. The economy affects it, jobs, opening, closing, the environment. You have to be a breeze and well knowledgeable of what's happening in your industry, as where you live, which the whole place is your business. Because if you're selling real estate, it's all your business. You could sell real estate anywhere in the county or city you live, so you have to be well versed. Education is to have to be based on where you at in your career. So at the beginning, you have to do a serious investment. It's true, because in order to learn the basics, but thereafter, you to maintain and gain more. It's just like your basics, and then you don't get to the meat of things. It's like high school when you graduate and you just have high school. When you continue education, is like going to college. You're gaining more experience, and then you could specialize. So I'm not saying go and get a $1,500 course. There are courses that start at 25 and different subjects within real estate, and they'll concentrate in that subject in that day, and it will make you a better agent, because you'll be able to understand. First of all, feel confident in your transactions, even without saying one word. You emit um, confidence, and also your clients ask you questions, you'll be able to answer their questions. That is the reason. So once a month, when you have downtime, because right now we're in a boom, so everybody's super busy, and right now is the time to work until there's no more work. When you have some downtime, then I recommend you take courses in between. And like I said, you have to be based on something affordable that you could afford where you at, or invest towards that. When you sell something, put money aside for your education, so you can continue to make more money in the future. The other one will be the media. Not being familiar with the media out there, that's a big thing. You don't have to be in the media yourself, like necessarily being so posting every hour on the hour or every day. Pick two medias you like, that you feel comfortable with. I shouldn't. You should. My theory is that you shouldn't do anything you don't feel comfortable and authentic in. So if you're gonna attract the clientele where you hang out, and so We are open to the general public, but we tend to have diverse interests, and so whatever your interest is, that's where you're probably gonna get your clientele from. So do hang out in medias that you understand and like, and maintain them often. I heard a comment, be versed in, my advice is, if you don't know about it, maybe don't say anything about it. It's better, because I heard some really ignorant comments, and of course I'm not going to correct people because that's not my place. And frankly, why should I? The less people who know my business, the better I do. So if they go around saying ridiculous things, well, that's on them. It's not my job to, unless you are under me or you are in my channel like you are right now, I do not correct them. I'll let them say whatever they're going to say. But I heard a comment of a person saying that, oh, I use LinkedIn. I only have 15 connections because when I apply somewhere else, I want to make sure that the recruiter can call those 15 people and go to my background check. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. The background checks are done basically on your background and your fingerprints and all that. See if you have criminal record. They will call your ex-employer, your co-workers, your references. But if they really want to see what you're about, it's a lot of the people in LinkedIn. If you only have 15 people, they're probably co-workers and family and friends. That's not enough to sustain a business. So your job is to make sure that you have a broad connections, as many as possible, to sustain a business. The business of you selling real estate, you're gonna need more than 15 people. So I think it's an act of being defensive, protecting themselves because they know they only have 15 people. Don't say anything. It's just better that way. Don't say anything, because we're living in a world that is purely coming through the media nowadays, and to say comments like that is really ridiculous and ignorant. So if you don't know, take courses. There's so many ways you could learn, videos such as this one, younger connectors, other peers, co-workers. So many ways that you can learn, and not for you not to say those things. And well, honestly, I never heard nobody say such thing, and I was really stunned. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, on to the next one. So pick two medias, be well versed, or what they, if they don't see you, if you cannot connect with people, you really don't exist. It's very, unless you already have built your book of business, or advertise heavily and have paid for advertisement, then you get people. Or if your broker refer you people. But if you don't take an active stand, your phone will not ring. The other one is, well, looking good. Your clients could look any way they want because they're the client. For you, most likely will be 1 or 2 times, or sometimes 3 times. Depends what you do and what segment of real estate you're doing. You will meet with your clients actively if you are hands-on. If you work with investors, and most of the time you will meet with them, show them the properties. Again, it's not often. You have several people you're working with, so you always should look good and presentable and according to what you sell. And looking good meaning, if you're selling ranch properties, dress accordingly. You're not going to be wearing stilettos selling ranch properties. So that's what I mean. According to what area of the city and what kind of real estate you sell. If you sell beachfront properties, dress accordingly. Your clients are not going to be wearing suits, so you should be familiarized with what is professional in that area. Of course, but suitable, and that's the word, suitable. I had people come up to me, and I have that quite often because obviously we don't know who we're going to meet when we are in the properties. And I have people come in the properties not knowing that I'm the broker, and they're telling me they're investors, and I'm looking at them, and I could tell investors just by what they tell me. I'm not even have to look at what they're wearing, okay? But what they're wearing tells me a lot more too, because I can tell. There's investors, and don't get me wrong, they come in full of paint because some of them are hands-on, And even with paint on top of them, you can tell, you could still see they're investors. There's some people just plain unhygienic, and you can tell by looking at them that they don't take the industry seriously, or they don't have no money to invest. And so, or you telling people you do real estate and you're not well dressed, or accordingly, like what I meant well dressed is according to the area and the type of real estate you offer. So business casual, some have jeans, but if you're gonna sell in the more relaxed IT, they're more relaxed, but you're gonna have to mimic your client, but you always have to look better than your client in that sense, because they expect you to look better than them. They could, like I said, they could come in in shorts if they want to, but you have to look a certain way all the time, because you're dealing with a lot of money, and frankly, they want to make sure that their money is safe. And so even if people are saying they don't care, they do care. They do care. And if you are a casual person, then we also have our agents who are casual, who would rather wear a polo but with a brand. That's fine. It still shows that you're professional. If you don't want to think about what you're gonna wear that day, just wear a uniform, and that will take away that pressure, and it will create a good impression. Like I said, most of the time, all the transactions are gonna happen over the phone, email, and text, and so it's very rarely that you're gonna be recurrently seeing clients, but your first impression should always be a good impression. So those are the 4 things. So let's go over them just before I let you go. Communication is number 1. Super important, right? You will not get no business if you don't answer nobody. Education, making sure that you understand what you're doing, because otherwise they wouldn't need you. People don't need you. They could just try to purchase directly. You are there for all the little thousands of things that the general public do not know, and what makes a transaction smooth. To soothe their anxieties, because you know what to do when a problem arises. And you also know how to get them out of trouble before they even get to that point. So that's what you're getting paid for. In a sense, that's what it is. Plain blank. It's just negotiations with experience, knowing that what is doable and what is not doable, and advising your client for such. And when you know your limits, advise them to consult attorneys, or specialists in the industry if they need to be talking to a specialist. You are just like a coordinator, really, of all these professional people, and it's an orchestra in sync to sell a property. The last one will be, the last 2 will be media. Be versed, come out and play in the playground, because if you don't come out, nobody's gonna know you. And come out in the media, okay? Or at least have some representation. And look good meaning that you don't have to wear a suit everywhere, but if you're gonna sell ranch properties, dress accordingly. If you're gonna sell waterfront properties, if you're gonna be selling condos, high luxury homes, whatever, or little small town feeling situation, whatever that is, that's what I meant with look good and presentable. I hope this has helped you to stay in the business of real estate long term. I know it's a little harsh, but that's the truth. That is the truth, and nobody's gonna tell you. And I'm telling you because I've been here for a long time, and I see people don't last. And those are the reasons, most likely, they don't last. I hope this has helped you. Till next time.